Today we're going to have a look at the current state of the PR for the Haystack Pinecone document store, and we're going to try and work through and maybe solve all of the issues, although I tend to be quite optimistic, so maybe that's not going to be realistic. But we're going to give it a go, and we're going to go through and try and figure out what we need to do to actually merge this into the Haystack library. So we'll just scroll down, and so I have Bogdan, who has given a lot of feedback on this. And the first thing, or okay, not the first thing, because I need to figure this out as well, is make sure the typing is compliant with PyPI. I mean, for most of it, I was just taking methods from other parts of the framework. So I'm not sure if there's been some updates since I started doing that, so my types are just kind of out of date, or if it's some other types I've kind of put in there and not realized they were different. I'm not sure. So we'll figure that out later, it's fine. So one big one is to make use of the filter utils for converting the filters. At the moment, it's just a method inside the document store called, I think, build filter clause, because this handles converting from haystack syntax of your so haystack filter syntax to pinecone filter syntax. So we need to just solve that. And what are the other things? So it's just a load of these like little ones that we're going to go through. So vector dim, this is what makes me think I was looking at some older version. This has been deprecated now, and now he's using vector or embedding dim. So let's fix that. So anywhere it says vector dim, I just need to remove that. First, let me just check. Okay. We can just replace all of these. Yeah. So let's replace all of those. So embedding dim. Okay. It's number one. Easy. So this is a more difficult thing I think we need to figure out. So there's this filter utils script. And when I looked at it, it was kind of confusing before, so I'm going to let's take a look now and see if we can figure it out. So filter utils, I think it's here. So it's still in the document store directory, and we have this logical filter clause. Come down here, and okay. This is why it's so confusing to me. So we have convert to Elasticsearch, convert to SQL, and they're all just empty. So maybe I'm just going to try and add the convert to pinecone method in here, like pretty much as it is already. And hopefully, I don't know, figure that out. But at the same time, we have this logical filter clause object, and I'm not sure what that looks like exactly. So if we come here, class that is able to parse a filter and convert it into the format that the underlying databases of the document stores require. Filters are defined as nested dictionaries. Keys of dictionaries can be logical operators, comparison operator, and so on. Okay, so the logical filter clause is here. And then we have the comparison operators as well. Okay. Logical operator keys might take a dictionary, metadata field names, and that. So at the moment we are converting these correctly as far as I know, but I'm just not sure how to integrate that with this filter utils. So let's have a look at another document store. Let's have a look at we aviate and see how they use that. So it's it's filter utils, logical filter clause. So they only use a logical filter clause here. They don't use the other one as well, the comparison. So let's have a look. Logical filter clause. See where it's being used. So if there's filters, this is just being called. So logical filter clause, parse filters convert to. Okay. Kind of need to see what this is. So if we take. Okay, let's take this and we'll put it into a document, into another file. Okay, let me create a file here in haystack test. So I'll just call it filter utils test. Okay, so I'm going to test this, but we need to import it. So where is Reaviate importing this from? Here. So okay, let's take that, import it here. Should work. Oh, select the kernel, haystack. Let's see. So filters, I'm going to take a filter from the filter test I created before. Yeah, anything. There we go. Let's see what that gives us. So filter date or operation. Wow, super weird. Convert to Elasticsearch. Right. So I need to figure this out a little bit. See what we have into. So parse is creating one of these objects. What object is it? Filter utils or operation. Seems really complicated to me. So parse here. Okay. Not operation, parse value. Okay, not end. So it's like we need to modify the current filter. So it's like we need to modify this to not take a look directly at the keys, but instead look at the objects created over here. So this and operation or so on. We also need to figure out what those are. So are they in here? They're actually in this script. So and operation. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this is where that is happening. So condition convert to Elasticsearch. Where is condition coming from here? Condition self-lock. Okay, it's stored in there from the logical filter clause. Okay, so you initialize this logical filter clause, which consumes where is it? Up here somewhere. Conditions here. Okay. Self conditions are added to the logical filter. What's it called again? Logical filter clause. And then later on, when we actually use this AND operation, that is inheriting that value from the logical filter clause. So it's the condition, self.conditions is already in here. Okay. And then in here, we need to specify how to deal with each of those items. Okay. But then it's condition convert to we aviate. For condition in operator return. Okay. So if we do something like, let's just take the we aviate one. If we do something like convert to pinecone, convert to pinecone here, and the operator is not and. Is that what it is? Okay, so the operator in this case is and. Is that right? I can't even remember now. So with or, let me filter utils. Where is it? Okay, yeah, it's and. So, and then the operands. What is the operands here? Is that relevant? They don't use it here. All right, let's see what that returns to us. So first, I think we also need to pass convert up in the original or in the first class. So logical filter clause. Find convert to pinecone, and we just pass. I'm not going to write the description in there yet. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to pip install that. Maybe I can also, let me add it for the OR as well. So OR operation. Okay. Oh, no, not that one. Let me copy that there. Okay. Where is the operation? Oh, here. So convert to pinecone again here. This time we are using OR. I imagine in here maybe I need to create a list. So let's just test it first, see what we get. So pip install. Now let's go back and actually test that. So restart. Yep, run this. We should now have. So we get the filter date. Don't need to have a look at that again. And then from that, we should be able to. So if we just convert to we aviate, for example, we should see something. Okay, what happened there? Did I interrupt? Okay. Let's run again. Okay, fine. Pass. We get this filter utils or operation. Convert to we aviate. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. And then if we do same again, but convert to pinecone, attribute error. Okay. So I need to add convert to pinecone to a lot of things here, I think. Okay. Let's go back and do that then. Now we just leave it as the we aviate. We're going to reformat everything. I just want to make sure that everything is in place, and then I can just modify things in there. I think realistically the conversion from to pinecone should be super straightforward, because we don't have all of these different syntaxes. Ours is very aligned to pinecone, so it shouldn't really be an issue. Or pinecones is very aligned to haystacks and so on. I'm just going to skip forward to this in this bit. Okay, so that should be enough for that, and we can first need to pip install again, and then we'll just rerun this and make sure that we're actually returning some sort of dictionary or filter to make sure everything is in place. So restart, okay, and then run this. See what happens. Okay, so still some issues in there. Let's try and figure that out. Okay, so we've got this now, so we have like a really basic dictionary coming through. So all you really need to do now is modify the code that we added to filter utils to align to the logic in here. So I think what we'll do is maybe have a few example filters and kind of figure out how we're going to write that in there. So let's start with that. Okay, so we've got this working now, at least for this one filter query, which is pretty cool. A lot easier than I was expecting, so that's really good. And this sort of logic of putting things or separating everything out, I think makes a lot more sense, particularly if you consider how complex some of these other querying syntax must get. So before I was thinking, oh, this seems a really overly complicated way of doing things, but now I think I'm convinced this is probably one of the best ways to do it. So the only one that we don't have is this not operation. So I don't really know what to do with that yet. So I'm going to, for now, I'm just going to leave it and come back to it later. Maybe just add like a not implemented error or something like that. The only reason I say that is it would be great to, like, say if you say not this, maybe you could invert it by just looking for all of the opposite values. But to do that, you'd have to pull out all of the metadata from a pinecone, and I don't think it's possible to do that. But it's something I need to check. So for now, I'm just going to ignore this one. We'll deal with it later. So yeah, that looks good, I think. The only thing now, I want to test it on some other filters. This is just one filter. Maybe it doesn't work on the others. So let me find some of those. So I think which notebook was those? Testing filters. And yeah, we come down here, we have a few other filters as well. So let's try those. Hopefully it works. So filter down here, we parse them, and then we convert them to pinecone. So convert to pinecone. Let's see. Just remove that so we see it straight away. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff in here. Let me just remove this. Right, Zelda. Okay. Yeah, I mean that looks right to me. Let's try another. There's a testing. Okay, yeah. We just did that one. So let's try this one. Let's see what we get. So convert to pinecone, just this again. Okay. Yeah, and this looks good as well. So I think we're probably ready to actually go ahead and test that in here. So let me take one of these. I'll take some of these filters. I'm just going to apply it directly to pinecone to make sure it's actually working. So to do this, I have to create a load of vectors, and I don't want to need to do that. I just want to create like a couple of vectors. So if I go to pinecone demo, come here. Okay, so this one's easier. Yeah. So this one only does it with like 6. So I'm going to run through this and see if it works. So initialize. I think we've already created this dictionary, this document store. Oh, the other thing that we need to do is actually implement it in pinecone, so that's important. So in here, at the moment, when we go to filter, I'm using this build filter clause. I don't want that anymore. So I actually want to just remove this. And then let's find where we're applying filters. Okay, let's have a look at write document, see what I do. Okay, so here we're using self build filter clause. So we need to change this to use the same logic as the other document stores. So let's have a look at we aviate, and I think, okay, ignore that. We aviate filters, see where they, okay, here. This is what we want to do. So the filter, this, just use this. Nothing more than that. So it's really simple. So the filters are just going to be converted into that. So we use filter dict here, but we just use filters. Convert to pinecone. And I'm just going to search for this. That will tell us where else we are using that. So search for this. Oh, it's only here. Oh, really? Okay, so that's it. It's the only bit we need to change. We also need to import this. So it's, what is it, logical filter. Okay, import this. And we should be good to go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and pip install that. And then we can test it. And hopefully it will work. Okay, so come over here, pinecone demo. Let's restart that. Rerun it. So we've already got a document store here, so I don't think we need to write these documents again. Yeah, I can ignore that. Dense passage retriever we don't need to update the embedding, so let me just move this to a new cell. Run it. We do need this. And then, okay, let's make sure it's working. Print those answers. And then we will try and apply the metadata filtering. So filters, just something really simple here. And then maybe we can like modify them a little bit to see what else we can get. Okay, it looks good. Just going to run that just so I can see maybe some of the metadata we have here. It's just this one again. I want to return another name so I can add it like a create an or statement and see what that looks like, but for now it's fine. Okay, let's run it. Okay, cool. So it looks like filtering actually worked. We're only returning 2 here because based on that filter, there's only 2 items in the out of the 6. So that's really cool. Let's get all the documents. So, and let's get some other names. So we have this one. Let's add that into our filter. So we're going to use all here. So we want all this of this. Okay, let's run that. I think that's in the right syntax. There we go. So now we're returning more samples. We're returning all of them now because they're either from this one or from this one, which is really cool. And we can double check that is the case. So can't see anything in there. Right, return all documents, and we'll go forward for doc in all docs. Is it doc? Can I do? Let's just check that this works. No, okay. So let's see what's in there. So document meta. Cool. Document meta and then name. So let's just print all those out to make sure that is the case. Just print. Cool. So it looks like it's working. So that is, I think, most of the issues on the pull request. I think there's one other, maybe one other big one at least. Okay, so the typing with PyPI. So we can see that if I'm not going to go through that now, but I can at least show you what that error is. So we come to type check here, and we can see in the test with PyPI there's a load of typing issues, like here, but all of these are all typing issues. So that's something to fix as well, but we're not going to go through that now. I think it's not that interesting. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope it's been useful to just kind of go through that, and like interesting to see how Haystack actually works, and particularly Haystack filtering works in the library. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been useful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.